Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Bud Light tweets, "Be right back," but most people don't care if they actually return or not. Now, this comes thanks to their ex-Twitter profile, and not too much creativity. They didn't use a picture or anything like that, even though, visual is a majority of communication methods since, forever. But nevertheless, they simply said, quote, "BRB." So, thanks to Urban Dictionary, I do know that means "be right back." Perhaps they're not paid per word. It's the opposite. They're actually incentivized to shorten the message at Bud Light. Nevertheless, they say BRB looking up how to refill the void from now until the Super Bowl, unquote. Fill the void. That almost sounds like a sad alcoholic trying to fill the void. Are they suggesting they should fill it with their product? I would definitely not recommend that in any way, shape, or form. If anything, that would exacerbate the problem of you being depressed or someone not being happy. If they're to increase their consumption of Bud Light, not only would they feel worse mentally, but they would also have to taste Bud Light, heaven forbid. But again, this did not go viral. So you might say this got, again, statistics. So I took these 24 hours after it's posted. It got about 15,800 views, which, again, for them, that's a nothing burger or nothing beer, whatever metaphor you choose. They also got 83 likes, which is really nothing. Again, for such a large, big company, not to brag, but I recently got 12 likes on one of my videos. Now, granted, with me, it's all about quality over quantity, the opposite of how they formulate and sell Budweiser, which is a mass-produced product. It's all about the best people always like my videos, bar none. They're the coolest, obviously. And if you have 1/1000th of a second or 1/100th of a second, if you could take that time to like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. Or download it and give me a comment, let me know I can do better. As always, appreciate your input. Now, going to the actual comment section, because some people did comment, interestingly enough, even though this isn't a specific tweet in which Bud Light is trying to buy favor or bribe their customers into, trying to win them back with free beer or sports balls tickets. People did respond. Now, someone by the name of Judo SOL says, "Let me know when you find out." So, and Bud Light did respond. They didn't like this person. They didn't give him a heart. But Bud Light said, "Will do, boss," which can't but wonder. Judo SOL. Is this a real person? Going to their profile. They said something good about Bud Light, so I'm always suspicious. You can trust this person. Their whole profile is about crypto. A very, very trusted form of currency that everyone trusts. Everyone loves Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Oh, wait, it's mostly a scam. Again, not financial advice. I just can't help but see all the scams in that industry. Granted, the technology is useful in other methodologies. And if I had copious amounts of money, maybe I would buy Bitcoin. But not in that situation. So this person is a writer focused on creating content that generates emotions and drives results. This person has 4,429 followers. They joined in 2016, so it's not like a brand new profile. And they look to be a cartoonist as well as a serial retweeter for gift cards, crypto, and other random crap you don't need in your life, and mostly scams. And of course, they post this, what is this silly thing? The NFT thingamajig the youth use, where they're spending more on an NFT of a chimp than a friggin' Lamborghini, which, again, public education is all-time low for a myriad of reasons. I can't help but think, if someone had a modicum of intelligence, and they were actually, had good teachers growing up, would they spend the price of a Lamborghini for a durable, hard product? Would they go out and buy an NFT of a chimp? I can't help but think they're mostly rudimentary, mentally speaking. So that's the first person. Now, James Dawkins says NHL All-Star Game as a response to Bud Light's tweet. Look at James' profile. Let's see here. He has 417 followers, joined in 2009. So, as a youth might say, he's an OG, I believe is what the term is. Original Gardeners, I think is what that is. He is a fan of, what is that? The pirate flag? So I guess the Buccaneers? Something like that. So that's his profile. And he's very much a fan of, what the heck is this? AVN? Whatever that is. Presented by, he's watching, he voted for someone in something that's presented by My Free Cams, which sounds morally depraved to say the least, I would think. Also talks about Family Feud. So this person has a lot of time on their hands, but it is a real person. I'll be damned. Again, Bud Light's got, I'm pretty shocked that actually happened. we might have to send a letter, or we might have to print this out and frame it and actually send it to the former CIA operative, now the CEO of Bud Light, Brendan Whitworth. Kind of just let him know, hey, you have real fans, too, thus far. And the first two comments were good. Now we get to the ones that actually have likes. Because again, both those comments, they were only... The first comment was not liked, even though it was positive about Bud Light. The second one got one like, presumably from Bud Light, when they responded saying good call. Now the first comment that actually got more than 0 or 1 likes is actually the third comment total, coming from Agent 711. Though he is wearing a suit, so I can't give him an F for marketing. I mean, every man always looks best in suits. Always, obviously. But you could have at least had a lapel button that said 7-Eleven or something to that effect. Or maybe a suit that's green like a 7-Eleven store. So much opportunity. But nevertheless, allegedly, this alleged Agent 77, or 7-Eleven rather, says the boycott is still on, unquote. And that got 12 likes. Now, let's see here. EB simply says drinking Coors Light, in response getting 13 likes. Great Unconformity says, quote, I hear Peyton Manning has been filling Dylan Mulvaney's void now that they are Butt Light bros, unquote. And they got 13 likes, as well as an A+ for word puns, or we call it wordplay. Funny stuff. Now, John Lynch PR team says, quote, gay beer, LOL, getting 11 likes. Alberta Raven says, quote, fill it up. Well, let me reset this. If you have children or the youth listening, cover their ears since this isn't youth appropriate. Well, except perhaps public schools, which, again, I don't think that's even a child appropriate place these days. Not all, but many public schools. And Alberta Raven says, quote, fill it up with oversized butt plugs, perhaps, unquote. I got 18 likes, which is, I think, the most popular response for Bud Light. You also have Send It saying, quote, ask the frat bros, getting 5 likes. Do what says, quote, by drinking anything else, getting 7 likes. Someone simply by the name of Dinero7275 giving a middle finger emoji and an FU, getting 5 likes. Sleepy, that's a picture of a cat that does not look sleepy. This alleged sleepy person simply replied with a picture of a t-shirt that says Bud Light, or boycott Bud Light, and is a screenshot of Bud Light blocking someone, and that got 13 likes. Scrolling down a little bit more. Someone by the name of Mad Maga Man, who does not get an A+ for marketing because the profile picture is not in fact of Donald Trump or the iconic red hat, which is a not insignificant portion of his campaigning. And so I'll just say, and there's not even an orange emoji to signify Florida. So we'll say this alleged Mad Mega Man says, quote, as long as you drink good beer such as Shinerbach, unquote, getting 4 likes. Which I might be a little biased because, again, Shiner is also a Texas-based company, which is the awesomest, or some might phrase as the best state. Continuing to go down, the White Rabbit simply said, ooh, they actually have a myriad of Bud Light cans placed so that it spells out woke. They got 4 likes. George Francis says, quote, you need to publicly apologize for messing with children. Putting a mental illness in front of children is a horrific thing to do, unquote. Getting 4 likes. Let's see here. WTC 2020 says, quote, maybe go out and buy some Coors Light. Hashtag boycott Bud Light. Getting 4 likes. Someone named CPC 2023 responded with a Bud Light can that had the text photoshopped on top of the top part of the can, so it says tranny fluid Bud Light. They got 7 likes. Let's see here. Earl Jones Pure says, quote, are you still around, unquote, getting 3 likes. Says, and of course, if we go to the very top, there's also that little part that says, a little disclaimer button that says the super secret tweets or posts that Bud Light does not want us to see. And of course, we're going to click what I call the bonus button. So the censored replies comes from CBC 2023. So he had a couple of responses. He's pretty busy. Now, he has a picture of a can of Bud Light, and he's photoshopped the text. So the text, instead of saying Bud Light, says, is it the English? Their term for cigarette. Or is it British or French? Which dialect or country says it? I think they say that in England. Maybe? Anyway, the pejorative F term light And the text beside it says, cut your private part off, unquote. Well, I did change it to be moderately family friendly. But that did get 6 likes, which is impressive considering this was hidden. So you really had to, go in to see this. You also have, again, CBC 2023. He is staying busy. This is double secret, so it's hidden behind. So Bud Light censored it. Then X Twitter says, a little warning says, the following media includes potentially sensitive content. Click to view. Obviously, click. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. So it's Dylan Mulvaney. And again, cover your ears if you have children listening. Dylan Mulvaney's being serviced by a Bud Light bottle. That did get 4 likes. Continue to scroll down. You have... Is this all him? Okay, you have a couple others. But this is, again, CPC 2023. It's a picture of Alyssa Heiderchild standing behind a gravestone with a little bro peace sign. And it says Anheuser-Busch 1876 to 2023, getting 2 likes. And Rev Dixon Cut replied with a Bud Light parody can again. So again, Bud Light keeps coming back. They tweet they're going to be right back, but do people really care if they come back? Statistically speaking, their sales are down about 30% week over week compared to prior to the Dylan Mulvaney controversy and the whole Bud Light boycott. So the sales are still there. It's still, as the public school wouldn't say, I would say it's more than half. Public school wouldn't know what to say, unfortunately. It's one of those instances where they still have the sales. They're not going out of business. They have 40 plus beer brands under the Anheuser-Busch InBev portfolio. But on social media, they went blank for a couple months, and they keep trying, and they just keep getting knocked down. And again, we read through, of all those comments, only a couple of them were positive, and a couple were neutral. Like, we had one saying from the GoBro, who just replied with the simple football emoji. They did get 1 like. But overwhelming majority of the responses, I haven't seen such a negative ratio since Chris Christie. And he actually had a fascinating social media phenomenon in which he would have a post and 0 people would have a positive response to him. And presumably he had friends, family, allegedly a campaign staff. And yet he had 2 instances where we covered on the show where we read every single comment. There wasn't a single positive one. So Bud Light hasn't achieved that level of rudimentary failure and derisiveness on the internet and social media. But I can't but think, we got the big Super Bowl, which Americans worship. A lot of people love the sports balls. And you have the whole Taylor Swift worship culture as well. So there's going to be a lot of eyeballs, and Bud Light's going to pay a lot of money for a Super Bowl commercial. But I just can't help but think, I don't see the culture shifting anytime soon, as they have poked the bee's nest, some might say, and they've ignited one of the biggest cultural phenomenons, topics, controversies in the United States, as well as, you could also argue, though they were never charged by the government, they were never fined, but it sure seems, well, it's certainly illogical, but it's also, it's illegal to sell alcohol products to children, and yet they paid Dylan Mulvaney $185,000 for a couple of pictures and a video in which Dylan Mulvaney had a picture of, Dylan's face plastered on the can celebrating 365 days of womanhood. And the average audience member of Dylan Mulvaney on the platform that Dylan is on is TikTok, which, again, the average user age is under 21 by far, and the average user age for Dylan's audience is about 15 years old. So, even from a business perspective, it made no sense. It wasn't going to increase their sales. And also, for the whole history of Bud Light, didn't appeal to the core demographic. They were going after a new audience, but again, I don't know how much that audience buys out. It didn't make any business sense. And a lot of people were just viscerally disgusted by trying to sell beer towards kids. Again, they were never fined by the government. They were never taken to court. But there is a huge amount of controversy around this brand these days. And even though they keep paying for marketing and advertising, it's just one of those things where I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. But let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of February, so click that number. I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment, a thumbs up or a thumbs down is a great way to give me a little additional insight, as well as some tips on how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.